Hey, how's everybody doing? Ren Carothers here. Royally bred, but aren't we all? I'm here with your Future Stars forecast. And hey, it's Tuesday. Let's talk 2-year-olds. Let's get right into it because it was a award-winning weekend. Hello, the Prix Morny, a win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint, was won by Wesley Ward trainee Campanelle, or Campanelli if you prefer. What a filly. She's now 3 for 3. And this was she actually had given him his 11th Royal Ascot win when she won the Group 2 Queen Mary Stakes. That's a race that he had won in the past with Gels again back in 2009, Acapulco in 2015, and Lady Aurelia in 2016. Now, like Lady Aurelia, and for the same connections, Stone Street and Frankie Dettori up, she went to Deauville and she contested again the Group 1 Prix Morny and became Wesley's third winner in the race. He won it for the very first time back with No Nay Never in 2013. The following year, Hootenanny actually tried to win that, and he was coming off a win in the Windsor Castle, but he had to settle for second. But he made up for that loss because he went on to win the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. But like I said, Lady Aurelia won that race for him. And this year, I mean, it was a tremendous performance. She won straight out of the gate. And I'm going to go ahead and show you that replay right now. This is Campanelle, or Campanelle, in the Group 1 Prix Morny. I'm actually going to show you the whole race. And here we go.
By, ready, racing. And Campanelle has begun well in the yellow. Also on the inside, Nando Parado shows early pace. Acapulco Gold out wider. Tactical goes into a forward position early, and they will follow them by the speedy Lever Shop going forward. On the outside, Winville Shop and Rhythm Master in the centre. They will follow then further back by Cairngorm, and last of all is Far Far. So they go past the 800, and the leader is Campanelle, showing the way by more than a length. In second placing in the centre in the brown jacket is Lever Shop. Closer toward the near side rail is Nando Parado. Acapulco Gold out wider. Coming in between horses is Cairngorm in the purple with the green armbands. Tactical makes ground just in behind them. Rhythm Master was next, followed by Winville Shop, and dropping right out of it is Far Far. Down to the 400, and the leader Campanelle is shaken up. Acapulco Gold on the far side in the yellow and blue stripes is trying hard. In third placing then is Lever Shop, followed then by Nando Parado. But is this Frankie again? It's Campanelle kicking clear. Late on the scene is Nando Parado, but again, Frankie, champion at Deauville, and Campanelle wins. Campanelle ran away and won it well. Second home has gone to Nando.
That filly has got a tremendous stride. So yeah, she is bred very speedy, but you know, I'd be curious if we see her go ahead. I know that they're entertaining the idea of going to the Chevrolet, and then going to Breeders' Cup potentially. But whether it's going to be the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint or the Juvenile Turf Fillies at a mile, I don't know. I could see her going into either. She was bred by Tally-Ho Stud. She's an Irish bred. And she's by the speedy Kodiak. And Kodiak, he was a winner from 4 starts from 2 to 5 years old. And he didn't amass a record that was world breaking or anything like that. But he has been a champion sire of 2-year-olds in Europe. And he sired the likes of Group 1 winners, A Solution, Fairyland, and Tiggy Wiggy. He's also a 3/4 brother to another potent source for precociousness in Group 1 winning sprinter Invincible Spirit. I'm sure you've heard of him. Now, whereas Invincible Spirit, when I say there are 3/4 brothers, Invincible Spirit is by Green Desert, who's by Danzig, okay? But Kodiak is by Danzig's Danehill. So that makes them 3/4 brothers. Their dam, Rafa, she was also a Group 1 winner. She won the Prix de Diane, or Diane. So now as for the bottom side of Campanelle, her dam is Janina. And she was a stakes winner at 2 years old. She's a daughter of Namid, who won the 2000 Group 1 Prix de l'Abbé at Longchamp. Now her dam is second dam rather, I'm talking about Campanelle, is Group 3 winner who is a sprinter, Lady Dominatrix. And what makes that particularly interesting is this. So remember, I told you her sire is of the is by Danehill. So the thing that means is now he's got a lot of instances of Natoma, and Natoma is probably best known, apart from the race named in her honor at Woodbine, as being the dam of Northern Dancer, who's probably one of the most influential sires we've ever had. So, well, as I said, with Lady Dominatrix being by champion juvenile Danehill Dancer, you're getting more Danehill in there, which adds further doses of Natoma, who is a blue hen mare. Danehill himself, as I was mentioning, is already inbred to her because he's a paternal grandson of her son, Northern Dancer, and his second dam, Spring Ado, is a half-sister to Northern Dancer, so out of Natoma as well. So then Northern Dancer is found again in the pedigree of Campanelle's broodmare sire, Namid, whose own dam sire, and dam sire is just the father of his mother. Namid's own dam sire is Tate Gallery, and Tate Gallery is a full brother to Sadler's Wells, and of course, a son of Northern Dancer. So you've got a lot of Natoma in Campanelle's pedigree. It's pretty interesting. Now, her conquest was basically the cherry on top of a really profitable international weekend for 2-year-olds on the grass for Wesley Ward. At Woodbine, he had Into the Sunrise hold a next second after setting the pace in the 6.5 furlong soaring free. Then he had another pace setter. Surprise, surprise, these horses always break so well from the gate. Illegal Smile preserved to hold third in the fillies version of that race, the Catch a Glimpse. Earlier in the week, in the Bolton Landing, which was won by Toby's Heart, who is now 2 for 2, we saw Amazi Yampilo, trained by Wesley Ward, get the Shodo. That's a 5.5 furlong sprint on the grass. I'm actually going to go ahead and show you that race right now because I know a lot of people were really impressed with how Toby's Heart finished.
His mischievous dream, and now Toby's Heart makes a move on the extreme outside. Quinoa Tifa is in behind horses as the field comes into the stretch. It is Joy's Rocket, Toby's Heart on the extreme outside. It is Joy's Rocket, Toby's Heart coming up now to challenge. Then Amanzi Impilo. Here is Toby's Heart on the outside of Joy's Rocket. And it is Toby's Heart who makes it 2 for 2 in her career. She wins the Bolton Landing by a little more than a length. Joy's Rocket was second. Amanzi Impilo finished third, and the time was 1 minute 2 and 1/5 seconds.
Okay, so there you go, Toby's Heart, and again, the Wesley Ward trained, I hope I'm saying this right, Amazi Impilo was third that day. Now, as far as his runners go in North America, he got the biggest punch in the Skidmore Stakes at Saratoga. Again, that one a 5.5 furlong sprint on the turf for the boys, although he had a filly in there as well. He had 3 horses, actually. And topping him off, Golden Pal, he was first. Then Fauci, also trained by Ward, second. And Sunny Isle Beach, I believe is the filly's name, was fourth in that race. Now, I got to tell you, Golden Pal, in winning the Skidmore Stakes, put in perhaps the most impressive 2-year-old performance we've seen so far this season. He got a 92 buyer going gate to wire in this 3.5 length conquest. And that now puts him at the very top of the leaderboard for top buyers. And that's ahead of Reinvestment Risk, trained by Chad Brown, and Jackie's Warrior. Reinvestment Risk got a 90 on debut, and Jackie's Warrior, we just recently see go out for Steve Asmussen, got an 88. Now, what's interesting is Golden Pal had actually entered the Skidmore as a maiden, but still the dominant favorite, which came as no surprise. So why is that? Oh my gosh, he's never won a race. How is he favored in a stakes? Well, because, my goodness, this horse put in a tremendous effort over at Royal Ascot. And, it was in the Group 2 Norfolk, and he got the lead. The ground was not firm. But he really gutted it out, and he just got passed late by the Learjet. Now, the Learjet has most recently run over there And he actually finished third to Lucky Vega in the Group 1 Phoenix Stakes. Now, he was third across the wire, but he did get promoted. The Learjet I'm talking about. The Learjet got promoted to second because the horse who finished second across the wire, Aloha Star, was disqualified. So the Learjet, like I said, that was his most recent start, and he is the horse who caught Golden Pal late in the Group 2 Norfolk. But by doing so, the Learjet also has berth into the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint because the Norfolk was a win and you're in for that race. Now, heading back to talking about Golden Pal himself, that's not the only time he got caught late. His debut was actually sprinting on dirt. He was going 4.5 furlongs back, I believe, at Gulfstream Park, and he got caught late by, I think the horse's name was Gatsby. I don't have it right in front of me right now. But, you know, it's interesting. I like that they tried him on dirt first. Why not? Because he is by Uncle Mo, who won the 2010 Breeders' Cup Juvenile and was named Eclipse Champion 2-year-old colt. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and show you that stretch run right now of Uncle Mo.
Uncle Mo is breathing down his neck, and Uncle Mo is let loose, and look at him stride away. Uncle Mo, big. He's opening up. Boys on Tuscanova is second, but this is an overwhelming performance by Uncle Mo, the son of Indian Charlie. John Velasquez just want to point him in the right direction, takes a look back. Uncle Mo, superb in the juvenile. It'll be Boys at Tuscanova in second. Romance finished up third, and Biondetti ran on fourth.
Okay, so there you go. Uncle Mo winning the 2010 Breeders' Cup Juvenile. And then later, of course, as you know, he was named Eclipse Champion 2-year-old male. Now, he's also now a sire, turned into a sire of sires. It's amazing to see what his boys are doing. Nyquist, who won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile in 2015, went on to win the 2016 Kentucky Derby, has really put out some nice quality horses out of the gate in his freshman season. We also have seen Outwork get winners, as well as Leoban. So it's very exciting to see a horse like Uncle Mo, who was so talented at 2 years old, go on to produce horses who are not only talented themselves on track and early, but now horses who are also passing along that same type of precociousness. Now, as far as Golden Pal goes, again, another reason why it was not surprising that he's going to put in such a stellar performance in the Skidmore Stakes was because when he ran at Royal Ascot, champion jockey Kieran Fallon, who was helping look over Ward's Royal Ascot contingent, he was actually quoted in an article from Horse Racing Planet, and the article was written by John Lees. I want to give him full credit for this quote. Kieran Fallon was quoted as saying that because what they were doing was they were entertaining the idea of putting Golden Pal, including Batash, in the Nunthorpe Stakes, okay? So we all know how great champion sprinter Batash is. In fact, he went on to win the Nunthorpe Stakes and is now in the Breeders' Cup. But Kieran Fallon, ahead of that race and after the performance that he had seen at Royal Ascot in the Norfolk, he said of Golden Pal that the colt would, quote, definitely win the Nunthorpe if he ran. Against Batash? Apparently he thought so. So again, any surprise that this horse should come back over here and just totally dominate the Skidmore Stakes? I think not. So again, he got a 92 for that effort. So impressive. And you know what makes this all the more special? I should say he was ridden by Rad Ortiz Jr. and he is bred and owned by the same connections who owned and bred his dam, Lady Shipman. Okay, so that's Randall Lowe, and Lady Shipman was so talented. If you're a fan of speedy horses, boy, did she have that. She was a horse who won 13 of 21 starts. She's an 11-time stakes winner. Rad Ortiz Jr. also had ridden her in her races, so that's a cool connection right there to have ridden the dam and now riding the progeny of that really talented mare. She came within a neck of becoming a Grade 1 winner in the 2015 Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint herself. But she had also, over the course of her career, no shame in not getting that Grade 1 win, because she had set track records both on turf and all weather. In fact, the one that's notable is clocking basically 1 and 46/100ths in the 5.5 furlong Coronation Cup Stakes at Saratoga. She earned triple-digit buyers in 7 of her races, with her highest coming in the Classy Briefcase at Monmouth, in which she got a 108. And what makes her all the more exciting as a brood mare, again, this is her first foal, is the fact that she's a tail female line mare to La Troyenne, which that's family 1X, perhaps one of the most potent we have, star-studded through and through. So again, it's pretty exciting to see what she's going to do going forward as a brood mare. I know her owner just absolutely adored her. I happened to be in Dubai when she was going to try to contest the Alcaz Sprint. I know that didn't go all that well for her, but he just spoke with such admiration for this girl. And I'm sure he's just overwhelmed with pride over how exceptionally talented her first foal is appearing to be. So definitely a horse we need to watch. Now, the Skidmore runner-up, also trained by Wesley Ward, Fauci. He's ridden by Tyler Gaffleone. He was 4 lengths ahead of the 3rd place finisher in that race, Sky's Not Falling. And Fauci himself has some impressive pedigree credentials. He's by Malibu Moon. He's bred by Spendthrift, which stands him, and owned by Lindy Farms and Ice Wine Stable. Now, this was his second start on the grass after he had debuted on dirt, and I really liked the switch to grass. He won his first start on the green, which again obviously was prior to the Skidmore, and that surface switch made so much sense, because one of the things you have to remember about Malibu Moon, yes, he's by a dirt horse in Hall of Famer AP Indy, who won the Belmont and the Classic in '92, in just an amazing season. I love that horse, and his influence is just resonant. You look at pedigrees today, and I mean, it's hard not to see just the influence he's had on all these graded stakes winners. But as I was saying, Malibu Moon, not only is he a son of AP Indy, but which I know you might think dirt, but AP Indy's line is so versatile, because he was by Seattle Slew, and then he was out of a Secretariat mare, and it's kind of cool to think. As talented as Secretariat was, and Secretariat in my mind is the greatest horse who's ever looked through a bridle, I think Ron Turcotte was actually quoted as saying that he would have been about 15 lengths better on grass. So think about that for a minute, right? But then Malibu Moon, he's out of Macumba, and Macumba was a Group 1 winner in France. And then Macumba's dam, Maximova, was a Group 1 winner in France. So you have turf pedigree there already. But then on the bottom side of Fauci's pedigree, his dam Tashzara, she herself is by a horse who was a champion miler in Europe, Intikab, and she's a half-sister to Group 1 winners, Acceleration and Lancaster Bomber. The former capped his career with a 4th place finish in the 2012 Breeders' Cup Mile, and the latter, Lancaster Bomber, he actually put in runner-up performances in 2 Breeders' Cup events. First in the 2016 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf, and then in the 2017 Breeders' Cup Mile. And you've got even more turf pedigree in Fauci's tree, because his 4th dam is Sarah Siddons, who won the 1976 Irish 1000 Guineas and the Yorkshire Oaks. And the family also includes Ragusa, whose resume commands so much respect. I mean, that's a horse who in 1963, he picked up the Irish Derby, the St. Leger, the King George, and the Great Voltigeurs, I can't even say that word, Voltigeur, and the 1964 Eclipse Stakes. So Fauci, again, I mean, this is a horse, I think, that's maybe one that we see going forward in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. I don't know. It's just the way it looks to me on paper would be a really good fit for him. Now, on Friday at Monmouth, Wesley has another 2-year-old entered in a turf sprint. But this filly, it's a main special weight, goes off as race 2 on the card. The filly's name is Factoire, and she's on the also eligible list. So I don't know if she's going to draw in. If she does, she'll be making her second start after a 5th place debut finish at Saratoga back gosh, when was that? It was recently. I don't have it right in front of me, I don't think. But it was a recent go, and she did not debut with Lasix. If she draws in this time, she will be making her first start with Lasix, and Paco Lopez has been named as the rider. In that race, she set the pace over Good Going with Dylan Davis, and that was for owner CJ Thoroughbreds. So, we'll see what she does. Obviously, she could definitely move forward off that effort. But I will say a horse that's really captured my attention from just a pedigree standpoint, not necessarily to win first out, although she certainly could. And just real quick, going back to that date, Factoire, that debut was back on August 7th at Saratoga. So again, a filly that's kind of captured my attention from a pedigree standpoint to see what she'll do. And again, this isn't necessarily a pick in this race, but it's more of a let's put her in our stable mail and see what she does, because this pedigree is pretty extraordinary. So you've got a horse in there who's going to be making her debut for Godolphin, and she's trained by Michael Stidham, and Hector Diaz is named to ride, and her name is Montpellier, and or Montpelier, and she's a daughter of More Than Ready. And More Than Ready, this horse, he's a standout sire, especially when you consider it through the Breeders' Cup lens too, because he's had More Than Real win the Juvenile Fillies Turf in 2010. He had Pluck win the Juvenile Turf in 2010. He had Regally Ready win the Turf Sprint in 2011. Roy H. back-to-back sprint winner in 2017 and 2018. Rushing Fall, hello, how amazing was that performance the other day, by the way? She just got up over Mean Mary. I was on the edge of my seat. I don't know about you, but Rushing Fall, who's now been a Grade 1 winner in every season she's run. And the first season, she won the Juvenile Fillies Turf, and that was in 2017. And then More Than Ready is also the sire of Uni, and Uni beat the boys just this past edition of the Breeders' Cup in the Breeders' Cup Mile. And another horse that More Than Ready has a connection to, as Dam Sire, who won at Breeders' Cup this past year, is Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Champ Structor. So right there off the top, this filly has got More Than Ready as her sire. But get this. So her dam is Regent's House by Street Cry. We all love Street Cry, right? Now, she debuted at 3 years old, but she won that debut, and she won it by 6.5 lengths. She didn't do much of anything after that, but who cares? Because guess how noteworthy this is? This filly's dam, Montpelier, her grandmother is a shadow. Yes, that a shadow. A shadow who won 12 of 21 starts, who won nearly $4 million, who won 7 Grade 1s, including the Kentucky Oaks. Oh, and she also raced in 3 Breeders' Cup events and was in the money in all 3. She was second in the 2003 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. She was triumphant in the 2004 Distaff, and third, trying to repeat in 2005, coming off a victory in the Grade 1 Belle Dame. So how can I not show you this backtrack of the Hall of Famer in the 2004 Breeders' Cup Distaff for trainer Todd Pletcher?
And Stellar Jane trails the field 22 and 4/5 seconds over this track at Lone Star today. They're moving right along here. 10-wheel short lead. Nebraska Tornado keeping that pressure on all the way. The long shot Indy Grove with the pacemakers running 3 wide. Island Fashion poised for the final half mile on the far outside. They ran a half in 46 and 3/5 seconds. So the field moves into the far turn now. Tam Will still on that lead. 10 Wheel trying to take it all the way on the lead. On the outside, Island Fashion now makes that final move for the lead now. Indie Group trying to stay with those two. A shadow right there, waiting for some running room now as they make their way toward the top of the stretch. Stellar Jane is also right there. Ella Love on the outside. Stone Flat Flying is 5 lengths from the lead. Nebraska Tornado dropped out of it. They're off the turn. Into the stretch. 10 Wheel goes down. Into the breach comes a shadow. And a shadow comes away with the lead. Stone Flat Flying is in behind horses. On the outside, it's Stellar Jane coming down to the finish. A shadow in front and trying to hold on. And at the wire, it is a shadow who wins by almost 2 lengths. Storm Flag Flying came on to be second. Stellar Jane was third, and Tam Wheel was fourth. So they come from just off the pace. It was a flawless ride by Johnny Velasquez. And there's Texan Fear has just won his first Breeders' Cup.
Yeah. I mean, a shadow was incredible. And did you hear in that race call also? I mean, the filly ran second, no slouch, Storm Flag Flying, who had won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies the year before. Storm Flag Flying herself, out of My Flag, who won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. And My Flag, a daughter of Easy Goer, and out of Personal Ensign, my all-time favorite female racehorse, who beat Winning Colors in the 1988 Breeders' Cup Distaff. I mean, hello, what a pedigree and what a lineage from Personal Ensign. But Montpelier is not related to her line, but she is related again to a shadow. A shadow is Montpelier's granddaughter, or is her grandmother rather. So that's really impressive. And the pedigree, hopefully we'll see that reflected at some point. Who knows? Maybe we will see it on Friday. Somebody here has asked me when Montpelier is entered. She is entered at Monmouth Park on Friday, race 2, I believe it is. And again, I'm not looking for this filly to necessarily be a debut winner. When you see a pedigree like that, and I guess somebody could say, well, what about Regent's House herself, being the daughter of a shadow, and that she, she won her debut, but then she didn't really do much after that. Yeah, but you just never know when a horse really steps forward and can not only get in the winner's circle, but then, really shake things up on the scene too. And with this filly being by such a potent sire like More Than Ready, again, even if you look at his record in the Breeders' Cup itself, it just makes her a horse that I feel you definitely have to put in your stable mail. Again, Montpelier, I don't know if they named her after the capital of Vermont or if they wanted to be fancy. It's Montpelier. I don't know, but we'll go with Montpelier just because we're in the United States. And we'll, like I said, put her in our stable mail, see what she does going forward. She's a Godolphin homebred trained by Michael Stidham. So let's see here if there's anything else. I feel like there was something else I wanted to tell you about because, you know what? That other horse that's in the race that it just started the whole conversation about Monmouth in the first place, Wesley Ward's Factoire, she's a daughter of the Factor. And the reason why that's kind of a good segue is because the Factor, a multiple Grade 1 winner, one of those Grade 1 wins, the Pat O'Brien Stakes. And guess what? On Saturday, the Pat O'Brien Stakes will be run at Del Mar. It is a win and you're in for the big-ass fans dirt mile. You can catch the action on TVG. In the meantime, this has been your Future Stars forecast. If you have a 2-year-old you think I should know about, go ahead, tweet me at Ren Carothers, and I will see you here next week.